All right, greetings and salutations, everybody. It's Jack, and welcome back to another video. And in this one, I wanted to make my own version of Call of Duty Black Ops 4 in 2021. I just saw Exclusive Ace's video, and I figured, you know what? I think this would make a really good, solid, and a placeholder video as well while I work on something else that is taking more time to produce. So I figured this would suffice for now and keep you guys on ice, so to speak, until that video comes out, which is going to be quite different than the videos that I normally do in terms of what I decide to talk about and how I decide to talk about them. But with that being said, let's talk about Call of Duty Black Ops 4 in 2021. One thing I will say is that right now, currently, as of the last week, I obviously started recording again and playing this game again. Actually, I hadn't touched COD for like at least 2 months or so before I started recording and playing this game again. And I decided to play this game because I remember it feeling very, very good. And at the same time, I also wanted to try this on Xbox Series X because I originally played it on the original OG release date brick Xbox One, also known as the oversized VCR. So I figured I can make a comparison in terms of how different it feels, because I also played the game on the PlayStation Slim. And yes, I will say that the PlayStation Slim version back then played better than the Xbox One version. It still does, but right now, playing on the Series X, it is the smoothest version of this game that I played. Now, granted, it's not optimized to go up to 120 frames or graphical fidelity up to 4K or 1440p or whatnot. No. But the hardware itself is better, so therefore the game will play better. So it kind of just makes me think of PC players, because obviously the better hardware you have on PC, the better the game will play for you. It'll be smoother, you can have the better graphics and stuff like that. And of course, PC, you've also have the options to customize the game in ways that you wouldn't have on console. So when PC players are telling you that PC definitely is better than console when it comes to that and so many other aspects, I definitely understand where they're coming from, just from having different hardware of past gen to current gen on console itself. And I've also had some limited time playing on PC. Granted, the PC was very old, so this Xbox Series X actually beats the crap out of those PC specs. But I could definitely see, like, if I had a better PC or whatnot, or something that was up to par with today's PCs, maybe not the best builds, but if I had a 3070 or a 3080 build, I guarantee you that it would play even better and feel even better. There's no doubt about it, especially, because with every single game on PC, you can just customize it up the wazoo, and just, kind of makes me drool when I think about it. But, so, now, Exclusive Ace, as I mentioned, made his video, and he was playing a domination game, and he was getting, like, what, 180 millisecond ping or something like that. And with my experience, I could tell you the only game where I've gotten above 40 millisecond, the only game mode where I've gotten above 40 millisecond ping is the Mercenary Deathmatch playlist, but that was only because I was looking for a game well into the mornings of the night. Other than that, when it comes to free-for-all, and especially Team Deathmatch, which is the most popular game mode in Call of Duty history, so to speak, as well as many other first-person shooters as well, I could tell you that so far I have yet to have anything above a 40 or 50 millisecond ping. So, and that includes early hours of the morning. So, and I do mean early hours of the morning. So, or should I say late early hours into the morning. So, it's very solid and actually very smooth. And as I mentioned, with the hardware, it's even better. But as soon as I started playing this game again about a week ago to not just play this game, but also to record footage, it really and quickly reminded me of what was so good about this game, and it reminded me of what I loved about Call of Duty, because with Modern Warfare 2019 as well as Black Ops Cold War, we're just getting a different version of Call of Duty that is not, it's just different. Like, for instance, Modern Warfare wasn't as much arcadey. Black Ops Cold War was more arcadey, but at the same time, there was still a lot of things wrong with the game and the direction, implementation, stuff like that. But yet at the same time, it doesn't quite have all of the same problems that this one has. So a lot of players will say that Black Ops 4 was the last good Call of Duty, or the last Call of Duty that felt like Call of Duty. So immediately when I started playing, I completely understood it. I understood it in concept, obviously, being a Call of Duty veteran, playing this franchise for the last 12 years. But when you experience it and feel it for yourself, I mean, it's completely understandable why. Treyarch's DNA is definitely in this game, but that includes the cheese. But I want to talk about also something very interesting that I want you guys to be a part of in the comment section as well. So this game basically had about 4 or 5 things that basically kept it from truly reaching its potential. But the four of those things are the big ones. Now, the biggest one that I thought of off the top of my head was the fact that Blackout, although Blackout was brilliant, and there are a good amount of people that consider Blackout from a Battle Royale perspective superior to Warzone, Blackout did not release free to play. It was part of the package, so to speak, right? I mean, I guess they were using Black Ops 4 and Treyarch as kind of a test dummy to see if people would bite on it in order to create Warzone or whatnot. But or who knows, maybe even Warzone was probably starting to get developed around the same time Blackout was, and they had more time to polish it out and to implement their own flavor of Battle Royale. I don't remember, or I don't even remember if it was discussed, but the thing is, when it comes to Blackout, I think one of the things that basically was a big factor was the fact that Blackout just wasn't free to play. Another thing was the microtransaction system. It was similar to Black Ops 3. Like right now, they changed that ever since the game ended its life cycle. When like sometime after Modern Warfare or whatnot got released, or around the time that Modern Warfare got released, they changed the way the microtransaction system worked in this game to where you can actually grind for the weapons that you want. So if you want that VMP, you can actually grind for it. You didn't have to purchase it or rely on luck, so to speak. That's just the way it is. So you actually had to rely on luck. So it was basically like a different version of the Black Ops 3 microtransaction system, which was something that a lot of players, including myself, believe that almost killed Black Ops 3. But Black Ops 3 was so solid in so many other ways that it managed to survive that. And Activision knew that they would get away with it, I guess. And they got away with it because Black Ops, when you look at Infinite Warfare and World War II, the microtransaction system was a hell of a lot better and a lot more friendly. So they knew that they would get away with it, and they basically did it. And I guess they capitalized a lot, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people spent thousands of dollars just to get some of those weapons, and not everybody was lucky enough to get everything. And I grinded the shit out of Black Ops 3. So, but anyway, moving on to the next thing. The cheesy weapons were another thing that, specifically the DLC weapons were another thing that killed this game, in my opinion. Like right now, like if somebody wants to go try hard mode, and I see this a lot, and sometimes you'll even get full teams in team deathmatch that do this. I mean, they'll run nothing but VMPs and acoustic sensors, or they'll run the macro, or the crossbow, because we know how broken those games were. The strobe light was another thing that was kind of annoying, especially in the beginning. But once you use tac mask, and once they made it to where you can use tac mask, you can kind of combat it in a sense. So that was a lot better. Still annoying, but a lot better. Let's see. The specialists was another thing that got this game. Like, they were just so easy to use, and they just became they added too much randomness into the game, in my opinion. In Black Ops 3, I think it was fine the way they were put into it. It was still kind of cheesy, but it was fine. It was welcomed. It wasn't as random as it was in this game, because you had your ability and you had your equipment as well. So the combination of those two things, in my opinion, was just a little too much. And for me personally, from a gameplay standpoint, that was pretty much the only thing that I had to complain about, because, well, that and the fact that you couldn't use, like, let's say, for instance, a stock or a quick draw on certain guns, because that's how the guns worked and the balance was. And I get that they were trying to use it as a different way of balancing the game and a different flavor or whatnot. I completely understand that, but at the same time, it was kind of annoying, because there's simply some weapons that I didn't use because I couldn't use certain attachments for those weapons. Like for me, I really love the cordite, for instance. It's pretty much by far the most number of kills I have in this game is with the cordite. I just really love the iron sights. I love the operator mod on it, although I don't always use the operator mod, but I do a lot of the time. Just the way the game, the way the weapon feels in terms of its fire rate, it's everything like that. So it's certainly balanced in my opinion. It's not really overpowered in my humble opinion. So, but I just love the way it feels. So for me, it's about how guns feel, not necessarily how powerful they are. If it's satisfying getting a kill with that gun, and if the gun itself is fun to use and it feels good because you can strafe, shoot with it, and do all these other things, that's for me, it's what makes the gun playable. So if those things don't exist, it just, the macro is very powerful. The strobe light is powerful, and so is the crossbow. And I don't use those guns at all unless I like pick them up or whatnot. There's just things about them that I don't like, so therefore I don't use them, despite the fact that they're so powerful. So, and I'm sure there's a few players out there that also feel the same way, but again, at the same time, it's not about the minority, it's about the majority of players. So some people, or a lot of people, might disagree with that. So and So I think that the other thing that obviously killed this game was the fact that obviously because of Blackout, multiplayer kind of took a back seat, and which is from a financial standpoint understandable, especially since they were introducing Battle Royale into the Call of Duty system. Now with this game being the first game to do that, there was a lot of cut and paste. And for those of you guys that are that are yelling at Vanguard about the sun needing a nerf or whatnot, so to speak, I mean, man, in this game the sand needed nerfing. I mean, they took Arsenal Sandstorm completely out of the game because you just couldn't see shit. And like, what were they thinking when they created Jungle Flooded? I just don't know. I mean, I'm sure some people out there love the swimming combat or whatnot, but it just ruins the pacing of the game, and it just cuts off the map or whatnot. It's like, I don't know. Some people like that, but I think it's safe to say that most people do not. So it's like, what the hell were they thinking? So, and there was just a lot of cut and paste. Like they gave us night versions of certain maps that we've already played on time and time again or whatnot. I mean, it's better than nothing, but at the same time, we've been there before. So we got a lot of cut and paste. Even for Call of Duty, it was too much. So that was the other thing that got this game. But when you look at it from an overall Call of Duty standpoint, in 2021, if you want to have like a nostalgic feeling of what classic, a little bit more classic arcadey style COD feels like, Black Ops 4 is really good. And for some people, one more thing, this is a possible number 6. Not for me personally, but for a lot of people, the time to kill was a little too much. If they went down to 120 or 125 or even 100, a lot of people would say that the game would have been even better. But that's actually that's still up to debate. And I want to know down in the comment section, from a time to kill standpoint, the things that killed this game or kept it from being the financial success that it could have been compared to Modern Warfare 2019, do you guys think that if the things that were implemented into Modern Warfare 2019, like the crossplay, if Blackout was free to play and all that kind of stuff, do you guys think that this game would have outsold and outperformed Modern Warfare 2019? Let me know down in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this. Enjoy your Thursday, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.